Good morning. We're live at Gear Expo 2017 on day 3. I'm Matt Jaster, Senior Editor of Gear Technology Magazine, and my guest this morning is Tome Ware, Product Manager, Gear Cutting Tools for Star SU. Today we're going to be talking about power skiving and scudding. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
So let's start with a general question. What is power skiving?
Power skiving is a process, a rotary process, that will generate gear teeth forms.
And what is scudding?
Scudding is actually, kinetically is exactly the same. Scudding is a registered copyrighted name for the process.
Okay. What size ranges and types of components can be manufactured this way?
It's a fairly broad range of product that keeps growing as the mechanics of the machines get larger and stronger. But there are some limits on the small size. You also have to, there's some clearance issues that have to be taken into consideration as well.
Okay. How is power skiving tooling different from a gear shaping tool?
Relatively, I mean, if you look at the tool, they actually look the same. But because of the cross-axis relationship between the part and the cutter, there's some clearance angles differences and some minor changes in the geometry that you have to make it work properly.
Okay. The advantages of internal gears seem obvious. When would you use this process for manufacturing external spur or helical gears?
Well, similar to shaping of external gears that are next to a shoulder, there are some advantages obviously there as well to use the process similar to when you would shape. Again, there are some considerations because of the cross-axis angle of the tool and the part that you have to consider when realizing whether it is capable or not.
Okay. Well, what are the advantages and disadvantages of solid tools versus indexable tools for power skiving?
To me, the indexable tools have a limited range in that they don't go into very small sizes. They're fairly coarse pitch type tooling. They can't meet the small pitches and modules that we look at normally, like for splines is a prime application we see being used right now. Where solid, you definitely have the advantage of being able to make smaller tools, finer pitches, and the fact that the solid tool is resharpenable. So the same tool can be used over and over, and you don't have the same upfront cost of the tool holder each time.
Okay. Can skiving or scudding be done as a dry process?
Yes.
And what are the advantages?
Well, obviously there's the environmental advantage of the dry process, and there seems to be some advantages with the handling of the chips coming out of the machine being dry as well. The key is, of course, is that you still have to you're replacing the coolant and liquid with an airflow, because you still have to be able to move the chips out of the cutting zone, or you get into some very serious problems with chip welding.
Okay. What are some of the common problems gear manufacturers encounter when attempting power skiving for the very first time?
I think the biggest issue that we see is the rigidity required in the process. Is that takes quite a bit of rigidity within the machine to be able to properly work. That there is a lot of vibrational issues that can be taking place because of the high RPMs involved in the relationship between the cutter and the part.
Great. Do we have any questions from the audience? Questions? No? Thank you, Tom, for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Easy peasy.